You know, there is one thing that gets in your way almost more than anything, and that's you. And do you know people who seem to not be afraid of anything, will try things without hesitation, don't seem to worry about failure? In fact, if they do fail, they just pick up and try again. But then there's the rest of whom, in a flash, can come up with tons of reasons why we can't, why we shouldn't. Things like, I'm too old, I didn't grow up with technology, I'm not a good learner, people will think I'm stupid, it might not work, I'm not smart enough. Through intensive personal growth courses that I took between the ages of 21 and 33, this was one of the most taught and talked about subjects, how much we defeat ourselves before we even get out the gate. I want to share a story with you about Susan, a 65-year-old woman who had struggled terribly with mental barriers all through her life. And Susan's story is one of resilience and personal growth because she worked to overcome these challenges. Now, throughout her younger years, she battled a strong fear of failure. Susan was raised in a family that held high expectations, and any mistakes or setbacks were met with really harsh criticism. This upbringing left Susan with a deep-seated fear of making mistakes and falling short of expectations. As a result, she often held herself back from pursuing her dreams and from taking any kind of risk. Susan's fear of failure led to a tendency to procrastinate. She would delay important decisions and tasks, hoping to avoid any potential mistakes. And this procrastination hindered both her personal and professional growth. She missed out on opportunities that could have enriched her whole life. Additionally, she struggled with self-doubt and a lack of self-compassion. She often compared herself to others and felt that she didn't measure up. This negative self-image contributed to her fear of failure and her perfectionist tendencies. However, as Susan entered her 60s, she began to recognize the toll that these mental barriers were taking on her well-being and happiness. So she decided it was time for a change. Better late than never, I guess. She learned to reframe her thoughts and challenge her negative beliefs. She also began to understand that making mistakes was a natural part of life and an opportunity for growth. And over time, Susan's mindset shifted. She began taking on new challenges. She joined a local pottery class. She started traveling to places she'd always wanted to visit. And she started to not let her fear of failure hold her back anymore. Susan's story serves as a reminder that it's never too late to work on overcoming these mental barriers. With determination and the right support, she transformed her life in her 60s, proving that personal growth and resilience can flourish at any age. Sometimes these changes come about because people are tired of feeling defeated, or they start reading and watching self-development material, or they feel motivated enough by a specific goal or a friend who they always admired. In Susan's case, her tendency to procrastinate was the most challenging result of her fearful mental barrier. So here are 3 things that she learned to do to stop procrastinating, and you can too. Number 1, tackle uncomfortable things first, like dealing with a customer's letter of complaint at work, or reorganizing your to-do list so you can get the more challenging ones out of the way. We tend to do the easy or the fun ones first, but that only keeps pushing the harder ones further down the list. Number 2, set 3 small goals to achieve this week, like cleaning the oven, going for a 10-minute walk after lunch, watching a tutorial on working with clay, like pottery, getting out of bed by a certain time each day. Write them down, give them a deadline, and this will hold you accountable and also get you the satisfaction of checking them off your list. Author Mel Robbins also has a great tactic she calls 5-4-3-2-1. As soon as you find yourself resistant to something, you start to count down from 5 to 1, and then you act. It's like giving yourself a micro deadline, and it really works. And number 3, do something for just 5 minutes. This is a great way to tackle pretty much anything you've been wanting to avoid, like that room you've always wanted to clean out, or organizing your library at work, or even sorting through your massive photo library. Just schedule it for 5 minutes at a particular time of the day, and you keep doing that until the job is done. Of course, you could do more than 5 minutes, but the point is to keep it short. This way you don't get overwhelmed and end up avoiding it again the next day. You want to make it feel easy. Now, Susan also did one more thing to help get over that perfectionist thing, and I'm going to tell you that in the next video.